Yo, I got to get set up because I normally use my time to get set up beforehand, and then I'm here like 15 minutes beforehand. But today I was talking to somebody that I really care for a lot, and that just took a long time, so here we are. But by care for, I mean, you got people. Oh man, this thing. So you got our current generation. I guess I would classify as a millennial, according to the year that I was born, 1980 something. I'm gonna say 1980 something. So with that said, though, you got a generation of people that are coming behind us, and I think you can kind of like guess where I'm going here. It's like handing off the torch, not just the young men, but the young women. Damn it. I don't know what's going on with this thing today, man. My mic stand won't stay. But yes, handing off the torch to young men and young women. Don't, because I think it's one or two ways. It's one or two things we do to do disservice to our younger generation. Either we think we're competing with them, so we don't share the information, or we don't continue to study like we're supposed to, so we don't end up conveying enough information anyway. In either case, I think we're dead wrong. So, just that's not what I wanted to talk about this morning, but it was just on my mind. So today we are going to be not using Windows. We're going to be using Kali again, like we always do. We are going to I'm going to show you how I study retired machines on Hack the Box, but not in a slow and lame way, which is another thing that I wanted to talk about. So everything is going to go together in this video. At 5 o'clock, I'll kind of start the discussion, but right now I'm setting up. But because let me just go ahead and talk about it. So when you do retired boxes, or when you do, what is that? What do they call it? What's the offensive security version? Proving grounds? When you do either of those things, you gotta be efficient. Let me make sure. Let's see if I can make that bigger. Oh, wow, I can. Okay. Let me make sure that translated to the live stream. If so, I'm just gonna live stream like that. But maybe not do it over there. Just 1 second. I know I'm really painful with my pace, but I'm gonna try to keep the pace up after. Okay, yeah, I like that. I like that better than the way I had it. And then as I get more people in, I could just put the boxes to the left. To the right there. Anyway, let's just start. So, yeah, it's because it's 5 o'clock. Basically, people, when they study Hack the Box machines and when they study retired machines, they study inefficiently. Meaning that the first thing that they do is they load up, they go to OpenVPN and they load up the retired machine, and then they put the write-up beside it, and then they look at the command and they perform the command. They look at the command and they perform the command. I don't know if there's anything that's less efficient than that. You don't got time for that. Let me tell you a quick story before we start. I told you the story about how the typical hacker, as in the typical effective hacker, is in the world today. Little sleep, little food, many drugs, no girlfriend, no wife, no kids. He's grinding all day. He can stay up 24, 48 hours on the same subject. He's not worried about insane or difficult. It's just go. Ain't no OSCP, ain't no tri-hack, ain't no none of that. He just goes. It's either win or die. What he does gets him paid, keeps him out of jail, keeps him happy, gives him purpose all at the same time. Remember that? Remember I told you that? Well, I bring that up again to say that's who you're going up against. That's who you are defending your organization against. So how are you defending your organization against him? By going slower than him and loading up hack the box machines or proving ground machines and then putting a write up next to it and then trying to go command by command. That's slower. So I'm going to show you a better way that keeps me up to date, that keeps me up to speed, that keeps me, even though I'm not a penetration tester, I can get in a room with penetration testers and hold my own against the best of them. Like come out of there like Mike Tyson, like swinging. Because like this grind right here, like waking up at 5 a.m. and doing this helps not only my YouTube channel, but me perform better at work. And I do this every day. So yeah, let's get into how I would do it or how I normally do it. So it says it's Beyonce's birthday and it's like, I'm about to go on a quick rant while I load my stuff up. Like celebrities, right? Like it's not just celebrities though. It's anything that you're not interested in. The world tries to still push it on you. Let me open Excel, man. It seems like the world still tries to push shit on you even though you're not interested. And I was talking yesterday about like, I have to account for those calories that I just burned. What do you mean? Don't look at my stuff. Don't be nosy. What? It says it's gone. Oh, Windows. These are my files. Don't look at them. Okay, maybe my stuff got deleted. Hopefully not. If so, it's gonna be a very short video. Oh, my Google Drive's not connected. Oh man, I just thought about it. So my computer tried to restart itself earlier and I was like, no. And when you do that, it's not very good for the computer, right? If you try to stop it midway when it's trying to restart itself, it's very no muy bueno. So that's what I'm dealing with now. So I'm a little bit behind on my stuff. So hopefully it worked now. Yeah. Now I can load it up. I'm not gonna lie to you. I have a lot of bad practices when it comes to computer maintenance, antivirus checkups, all that. I am very bad at that. Even though I'm a cybersecurity expert, I'm terrible with computer maintenance. I will be the first to tell you, I stop updates halfway through. I will completely hard reset my computer just because I feel like it. And I'm like, well, forget it. Like, screw it. I'll just repair it on the back end if something happens. I don't know. I thought I'd share that with my viewers out there. I think that's pretty hilarious. The fact that, like, I'll go into an organization in a minute and tell them, hey, do this. But then I'll come back to my own computer, which matters more to me, and do much less. I don't know. I guess it's kind of like, you a nurse and you tell people to eat right and exercise, and then you go home and you don't do none of that. Like, yeah, it happens, right? Anyway, this is not what I want to talk about. So you've seen this before, how I have my note. Oh, I'm not showing you the notes. Here we go. How I have everything like parallel, and I have screenshots as well on some of these, not all of them. So if I want to just talk about APT, which was one of the hack the box machines, I can just talk about it, right? this is nothing new to most of my subscribers. If you are new to my channel, then this is basically where I get my powers from. The fact that I take notes. I wouldn't say that they are the best notes, but I would definitely say they are the best notes for me. And the power in these is it's not this small on my actual monitor. I have a 32-inch 4K. Not trying to humble brag there, but it is what it is. Anyway, yeah, so on my actual monitor, on my working monitor, I can see actually 3 or 4 boxes at a time. And then I go down the line and then I'm saying, okay, I took this step, this step, this step. Let's see a similar box. These are the steps that I took, right? So this is not that type of video. I just wanted to kind of warm you up to say that, damn, I hit myself hard on my hand. It hurts. I'm showing you this because we're going to be adding new boxes to this list. And I already have them noted out the way that I want. But I think it's initial access tag. Yes. So I'm focusing on the serialization. If you didn't know, if you have not been watching the past 8 live streams, I'm focusing on the serialization. I think I'm pretty comfortable with the concept now, in that the harder deserialization attacks require. Let me make sure ain't nobody talking. They require obviously getting the serialized object. Sometimes they require getting a key, and then you have to know what algorithm. Is that the correct word to say there? Algorithm or encryption scheme? What is let me Google. That way I'm not telling you anything like saying the wrong stuff. AES 256 encryption is known as an encryption scheme, encryption standard, whatever. You have to know that. So that way you have the key, you have the encryption standard, and you have the actual object. So if you can get the key and the object, then all you need is, okay, so what encryption standard is it? And you can brute force your way, or you can do some digging and find that out, and that's how you deserialize. But enough talking, let's get right into the reason why we are here. Man, it's early, bro. It's early, so. All right. So I'm going to, in another window, open up Hack the Box, and then sign in. And so when it comes to the machines in Hack the Box, it's still a little bit janky because you have machines that are clearly have something to do with deserialization, but it's not tagged properly. So I went ahead and I'm gonna make these smaller so that these let me make these smaller so you can see it. What is it? Row height? Yeah, row height. And then I think it's at like 400 now. We'll do like 200. And so you can see. And I hope that is saved correctly. So with if you choose this format and you choose to use screenshots, it is not pleasant because you get that overlapping. So let's just undo that for now, and then we'll come back to that. Actually, I don't know why that's like that, because I have a macro that says, hey, move in size with cells for all of my pictures or all of my screenshots. But yeah, it didn't do it on these. So we're just gonna undo. Where was that? Oh, something reset it. This is my macro version, ain't it? Yeah, it is. Yeah, something reset it, so we're not going to, unless this is an older version. Yeah, I think it is actually. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so we're going to ignore all of that for now. Yeah, for some reason, let me check my macro out really quick because that's disturbing. I don't know how to get macros. For each, pick move in size. So run that. File, save. So all of them should now be move in size with cells. So I should be able to just focus on deserialization, and then it shouldn't do that jumping up stuff anymore. All right, sweet, awesome. So now we can do row height macros, man. So this path of going down, like trying to do your notes like this, I never said it was easy, man. But to me, again, this way works for me. It, like the way that IPSEC and everybody else does notes does not work for me. That will make me fail OSCP. Like I would have failed OSCP if I had to dig through Obsidian and do all of that and markup code or whatever they call it. I would have failed. I have to do mine like this. So we have Serial, we have JSON. Serial, we worked on one of those boxes on one of the live streams. We have Arkham. So let's see, I guess you guys can read, right? So what we would do, now we're like 13, 14 minutes in, and I'm finally showing you how to do this. You have to go to hackthebox.eu or .com. I think they have a .com now. And you have to find all of your, I think I might have them somewhere. Let me see. You're gonna look at, actually, I don't want you to look at my files right here. So, but off screen, I am going to the walkthrough and then downloading it. I think I have them downloaded though, but Hack the Box write-ups. Yeah, I don't have a deserialization folder, so I think it's safe to show you this, and if it's not, screw me. But it's a new folder. I'm showing you some boring stuff, so if you want to come back in about 10 minutes, you can, it's fine. But if you want to see some like dope knowledge management, stick around and I'll show you how to do it. So you just get a deserialization folder, save Arkham in there because I know Arkham deals with deserialization. And then let's bring that back over. And you want to do your remaining boxes like that. So Serial. And I encourage people, while we're on the topic, to make sure that you're sticking to the same subject. So there's no point in trying to do like a random assortment of hack the box machines. That's why I don't, although I will love, I have a special place in my heart for active machines on Hack the Box. I don't believe that that is the best way to train yourself. That's the best way to entertain yourself, but the best way to train yourself is to say, okay, this is the topic that I want to look into. Maybe it's SQLI. I'm going to go and get all the boxes, retired boxes that have something to do with SQLI, and I'm doing them all, you know. So that's one of the things that people screw up, I think, when it comes to their training. So this is kind of the boring part. Again, if you just joined, we are saving all of the write-ups one by one, but we don't have any, but like we have like four or five more, I think. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Wait a minute, it ain't that many. It is actually 12. So it's JSON, I have Arkham already. Dang, this is gonna take a while. I should have did this before. I should have prepared, man. So if I take a hit on the live stream, it's all good. I'll just see you in the next one. But I was having a discussion with everybody about how are you going to defend an organization against a hacker that is learning and grinding harder, they're learning faster, and they're just much more passionate. How are you gonna compete with that? You can compete with that by learning how to, I wish I could avoid saying this word, but how to cheat when you learn. Now, you're not really cheating anybody, but by cheat, I mean like, it's more like a learning hack is probably a better word to say. But so what I mean, for example, I was interviewing one time for a promotion at work. And I went in for the first interview and it didn't go so well. I didn't study for the interview or anything like that. I was at that level 4. I know I grow and it starts to show. And at that level, you have to study your stuff. But I heard that it was going so easy for everybody else that I didn't study. I just went in there and tried to wing it. And, I got some unfavorable results and I was, didn't get promoted, even though I felt the work that I was doing, I felt like I should have gotten it, but I just didn't get promoted. So what I did was I went home and I got my phone and similar to affirmations or similar to subliminals, but not necessarily, I recorded myself asking questions and then answering them, like technical questions, and recorded as many as I could find, right? And I had like mad files, bro. I had like 50 files. Each file was like 3-4 minutes, and they were M4A files. They could also be MP3 files, but my software just recorded them as M4A files. Regardless, though, once I recorded the files, I put them into YouTube Music. So you can upload, I think you can upload your own custom music to YouTube Music. So I uploaded them there and I put them in a playlist, put them on repeat, and everywhere I went, the questions were just playing in my headphones. And I did this for about 2 weeks, man. Like 2 solid weeks. So I was running with them. I was going out with them. Like everywhere I was going, these things was playing in my earbuds. But and so when it came time to redo the interview, the questions just flowed out like diarrhea, like boom, 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 boom. Like it was nothing that they could ask me that I didn't answer, like with vicious ferocity, like just answering it, just ripping it apart like a bear, like everything they asked me. And so they knew at that point, like, okay, now it's time. And like I was just a shoe in for it, and so I got a raise. More of the story is, I felt at the time, I had something to prove. And I knew that I could go back and study a slow way like everybody else and just like try to wing it and try to get some coffee and stay up late nights. And I was like, you know what? Let me see. We're not going to be able to do no blog because that's one of those competition machines. Or Log4j. But I was like, let me see if there's a way that I could hack this thing into my brain. Now that might not work for everybody, but the reason I told that story is so that you could start thinking of ways. And let me make sure nobody's responding to what I'm saying on the chat. Not right now. You got to make sure you have ways to learn this stuff quickly, because I guarantee you the people that you're going up against learn this stuff really quickly. And so you don't got time to like, all right, well, don't play fair. If you can play dirty with this kind of learning, just do it. So I'm going to stop right there because let me see. That's let's just do one more. Monitors OFUG. And so I'm always trying to discover new ways to do that. There's a website. I'll probably drop it in the description or drop it in the chat later if someone asks, but you can make your own binaurals. So that's the next level. So I record myself asking questions, answering questions, and then I play them. Instead of listening to corny affirmations and stuff like that on YouTube, I make my own. And they have technical stuff in it. They have technical questions that I probably would have trouble answering if you just asked me normally. And so when I'm at work and stuff like that, now I'm answering the hard questions because they were playing in my head all day. So yeah, that. So we got like a few, what I was gonna say, we got a few boxes. So now I'm gonna take my notes here and start with JSON and open. Let's start with JSON. Yeah, open JSON over here, and I'm gonna scroll down. Like, so this synopsis here, I'm just gonna steal this. I'm not gonna come up with any of my work, my own work. I'm gonna steal this and I'm gonna put it directly in my notes. Uh-oh, not like that though. Like this. It has a like weird new line, so you have to kind of like, it's annoying, but it's worth it in the end. And next it says, I'm reading it over here, so don't think I'm weird. Next thing is the Nmap enumeration. And I just copy this and then paste it right into my notes. Because again, I don't have time to do it any other way. And so that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna go through those steps. Now, don't get me wrong. When I finish with the entire PDF, I'm not going to just take it at face value, because some of these write-ups are not, how do you put it? They're not as sound as you would like them to be. Some of them are, I don't want to say dead wrong. So there's a few that, like, if you do, the creators, I think, like to patch certain things or like to change certain things to where like it doesn't work the same. So for example, I was going through, I think it was Forest, maybe. It was one of those Active Directory boxes. And initially there was no AMSI activated. So you could just go through, you could run your Power View and all of that stuff. Well, once it retired, I think the creator activated AMSI. So now you had an extra step to go through if you were doing it in the retired context. More of the story here is, once I take my notes like this, I have to go back and verify that they work. So I'm still doing the work, but when I'm reading the write-up, I can see if the box is right for me, meaning that sometimes boxes are just like mad boring and they don't really have a lot to offer. So like, if that is the case, I'll just keep moving. And then sometimes I'll be like, man, you know what? You know, I would have never looked at this box had I not, you know, read the write-up. This write-up sounds dope. It sounds like this is a dope box. That's how I kind of fell in love with insane boxes. I started reading the write-ups and I'm like, yo, this is a dope box, yo. APT, for example. When I read, was it APT or was it Anubis? I think it was Anubis, actually. When I read the write-up for that box, I was like, yo, I'm hooked. I gotta do this box. And if you ever do that box, you're gonna have problems. I'm just letting you know. It's not, it's one of those boxes like the examples that I was talking about, where it's like, you get into the box and you start doing it, and then there's not, something's wrong where you can't just walk through with the write-up. Now, I've always intended to go back and see what was the problem. But that's it for that one. But I mean, even still, the concept of the box it makes perfect sense to me, because I was saying it on one of the previous live streams that these organizations nowadays, everything is two-factor, man. Or multi-factor, let me say that. Not two-factor. Everything is, well, what if we got selected in the interview but don't have the skill to do the job to get ourselves hired? That's a good question, man. I can answer that question from, and I appreciate the question, by the way. I can answer that question from the employer's point of view and the employee's point of view. And so I'm going to answer it from the employee's point of view first and say that if you ever find yourself in this situation, obviously it's going to depend on where you are working. Hopefully you got other people. There are other people in your same boat, which normally that's the case. And if that is the case, you could either, as a man or a grown woman, you have a choice to excel and just go with the pack. Now, I would excel. I would try to do better just because you only got one life to live. Like, why waste your life being average or being normal? But if you just wanted to just get your paycheck, it's just going with the flow. It's like, you know, herd mentality. When everybody else goes to the training, you go to the training. You know, if everybody else make a 70, you aim for that 70. You just make sure you don't fail. If you were to be that type of person and your organization changes for the better, you're probably going to be like on probation at some point. And it's going to be hard for you to dig yourself out of that hole. So I would rather make myself uncomfortable by being better than everybody, because sometimes you are in those situations when you get hired to an organization and you stand out with your technical ability, as in you're better than everybody. Like, that's not a comfortable feeling as well. Like, yeah, like, take it from me. So you got growing pains on both sides. But if you're that guy that just doesn't have those skills, at some point the roosters come home to roost. I think that's the term that people use. But it is a thing. So if you are on the employer side and you end up hiring somebody that doesn't have the skills, I think you have to be, optimistic, in that you got to say, okay, well, maybe you don't have the skills, but do you have the fire? Meaning that, all right, does this guy have sick research skills? In my organization, it's like, maybe these guys don't have the skills yet, but I'll just be like, hey, do you know anything about this? Do you know anything about asymmetric encryption? They were like, no. Well, go home, study it tomorrow. I need a report. I need a presentation. And if you can't work like that, then like, yeah, job might be in danger. So yeah, that's what I would say to that. If you get hired and you don't have the skills and you want to improve, I think the answer is there. Just get after it. But yeah, I forgot what I was talking about before that. Yeah. Let's make sure we're reading this correctly, because I just started copying and pasting, and I don't know if I'm paying attention. So it says here that IIS, yeah, after attempting to log in, yeah, going back to burp, yep, bearer. So we did this box like 2 days ago, I think, and I didn't get far. It appears to be JSON used by server to It appears to be JSON used by the server to identify the user. Adding quotes, single quotes, blah blah blah. So yeah, we were right on that. Remember, we were like, this is not a deserializable object. That we were correct. Oh, maybe not. API is written in ABSPA, and that the server deserializes JSON objects that it receives. Okay. Searching for vulnerabilities we come across. What? It was that easy? Oh, damn. It was that easy. Okay, so maybe I stumbled over that a little bit. So this is not, I would say that I'm going to leave these notes here and just move on to another box. Keep going. A lot of stuff in cybersecurity. A lot of things in cybersecurity is about like waiting on the thing to do. You go to work and you just sit around and you kind of wait until your boss tells you to do something. Like I've experienced that. And I think the response to that is, at least for most Americans and some people outside of America, because I can only speak for America, is I'm just going to wait. And then once I get something to do, I'm going to learn that thing. That's understandable. I get it, because you don't want to, it's like you got one life to live, right? Like, why not enjoy other things? It happens, man. For me, I'm obsessed. I will tell you right now, this is what I do. This is me. This is a part of my identity. So it's like, I would rather be doing this anyway. I'm not telling you to be like that. You might just want to just make money off of this and just, you know, live your life. That's fine. But for me, this is kind of what I do. I like to do this. I didn't grow up doing this. Once I learned it, I was like, man, I'm hooked. And I would rather do this on a weekend. I would rather do this on a holiday. And so I know that I'm not your typical guy to say, well, I'm probably not even the guy to even be speaking on what a person should do with their career. Actually, you know, I'll give somebody advice, but it's like, I don't even know if I should even be speaking on, you know, what somebody should do in an interview or whatever the case, because I'm going to go balls to the wall, like, off the top. So Arkham is a medium difficulty box, which needs blah, 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 this, blah, 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 this. All right, so we'll keep going on this. SMB. Let me just show this. Just keep showing that. But yeah, this is how, you know, I don't think you need to stay the whole live chat to see that I would download all of my files that have something to do with deserialization, B, scan them to make sure that they're worth doing, because I think Arkham is crazy. Once I scan them, I'm going to, any box that I'm interested in, I'm going to do my notes in parallel format and then go back and do the box instead of doing it one at a time. Like, I don't got time for that. Like, I need to learn faster. And also, let me show you something else, because y'all think it's sweet, man. Y'all think it's sweet. So what I'll do is Binary Beats Factory. Somebody on Reddit put me on this. I think it was actually the creator. So I'll go into my little headphones here. I'm about to show y'all some personal stuff, but I don't care. And then what I'll do is I'll create a new track. I don't know if a lot of you are even interested in stuff like this, but I try to show people ways to learn the fastest, like ways to, what's the word that I'm looking for? You don't want to go at the same pace as everybody else when it comes to learning this stuff, because there's a lot of information. If you look at my video, how to get into cybersecurity, or what did I name it? Cybersecurity, blah, 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 blah. You will see that's a lot of information. And if you don't have an opportunity to go through some kind of training like that, because maybe you don't have the money or whatever the case, like, how you going to learn all that stuff quickly? And the answer to that is, like, you gotta hack yourself ahead. And sometimes it's like listening to binaural. Sometimes it's like getting those affirmations in your headphones so that, like, the questions that are being asked repeats itself in your head. So you just go to new track like that, and you can literally come down here and you can say create, And then in the suggestion text, what I would do, I would go back to like a write-up, and I would just copy this and then paste it right into the suggestion text. And then I add, and then when you play it,
JSON is a medium difficulty.
I don't know if you guys can hear that.
Running an IIS server with an
You can't hear that.
ASP.NET application.
So you hear how it's like it's speaking like in a woman voice? It's going to speak that all night in my headphones. So I'm gonna wake up the next day an expert on the JSON box. And you do that along with your other study habits, like getting up at a proper time, making sure that you're getting up at an uninterrupted time. Hey, I'm gonna tell you how to get it, man. I'm not gonna sugarcoat nothing. I'm gonna give you everything that I got, how I made it. You know, it might not work for you. That's fine. But people always ask for advice. It's like, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you, hey man, I studied, I got this notepad and I got this pencil and I just studied and I just worked hard. Man, I'm trying to get it as fast as possible. So what I want to do, let me just get back to the subject, man, because as you see, I get passionate about this. I don't want to do Arkham because Arkham is not my taste. But yeah, if you ever get like a retire hack the box machine and it's a what am I trying to say here? A retire hack the box machine, and it is insane. Man, get your notes, throw it in like a binaural reader like that, put it in your head, like let it play for like 2 weeks. Your brain will start asking questions about some of those terms you learned. Before you know it, you'll be good, man. If you believe in that type stuff. I'm definitely I'm all about affirmations, and I think they work the way that they work is like, you know, if what's the word I want to say? The people around you, the people around you and what they talk about the most, that is basically you. And so those affirmations kind of simulate having friends that are experts, is how I see it. If you don't have friends that are experts in the field, don't even worry about it. Get you some affirmations, put them in your head, and you don't even have to read the affirmations. You can go to that same app that I just went to, play them in your head, and it's like you're having a discussion all the time about this stuff. I don't have to do that often because it's coming easy for me, but again, yeah. Right before a test, that's exactly what I would do. So let's read this and see if the synopsis is good. Oh, there's insecure ECB. I know what that is. Electronic code block, I think. Fingerprint is the same, blah, 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 blah. HQL injection, what is that? Upon requesting the admin page, I don't know, blah, blah, blah. You ain't talking about nothing. Still nothing. Vulnerability, blah, blah, blah. WFuzz. I don't know what they're talking about. Biometric encryption. So yeah, this is one of those examples of a box. I'm pretty sure that this is insane. Yes, it's insane. So I knew that. But basically what I would do here, and this is probably one of those ones that I'm going to do this on. I'm just going to show people again, just for the people that just joined the live chat. This website, it's relatively I don't want to say new, but it is, I think it's own, it's not a huge thing yet as far as having support, but it works fairly well. I would just take an insane box like fingerprint. Boom. New track, fingerprint, HTB. Okay. I will come down to, where is that? Create suggestions. And I'm just going to copy this whole synopsis. It might not go all the way. I'm just copy all of this in here. And it ends at multiple. But add that. Where is the multiple steps involving to blah, blah, blah. Use for, because again, I don't really, when stuff is like too all over the place, I need somebody to read to me. And it's, yeah. So I'm not going to do fingerprint though, but I'm just giving you an example of what I would do if I wanted to get after this box as quickly as possible. Moving on. There's not very much technical content in this one today, at least until I find one that I'm interested in. Let's read Ophiuchi. I think that's how you pronounce that. Let's read this one. Ophiuchi medium Linux box. Website hosts YAML parser and secure Java deserialization. That's what we want. So let's go see. What I also want to do toward the back end of the live stream is I want to, so I'm glad you brought that up, Rodnett. I am doing, I think it's AWS. I'm doing that, and I came up with a 6 script, man. Let me see if I can find it. I don't know if I saved it or not, but I don't know if this counts as an active box. If so, somebody tell me in the chat and I won't show my work. I don't think it counts as an active box though. It's just like Fortress, right? I don't know. Anyway, AWS cat WS entry skip scan. So what I did on I didn't get far. I don't know what I was doing that day. So what I did was I was like, okay, this is obviously, if you've been living under a rock, this is the output of a domain controller, or IMAP output of that. And so I saw 53 open, I saw 80 open, and then I'm seeing these things open, right? And I'm like, all right, first of all, let me divide this whole IMAP. I'm hoping I'm speaking to people that know what's going on, by the way. If you don't, just leave it in the comment section. Anyway, I'm looking at this IMAP, and I've been over this so many times, yo. Hundreds of times. So I'm like, how can I get my flow to the point where it is as efficient as possible when I enumerate a domain controller? So I'm like, all right, 53, I already know that if I don't have web, 53 is pointless. It's pointless because why would 53 leak anything that's internal to the network? No, that's not what I meant. Why would 53 leak anything that LDAP would? So LDAP, if you're talking about internal to the network, LDAP is the authority. I don't care what 53 has. I'm going to LDAP to get everything domain name related. LDAP. If I'm talking outside, if I'm talking public, then I'm relying on DNS. So that's the first thing. Then 80's open, obviously. Kerberos. I'm like, all right, if I find a username, I'm instantly going to try to Kerberos it and ASRep roast it. That's off top. That's number 2. Then number 3, 445. Everybody knows what it is with that. And then 5985, everybody knows what it is with that as well. Everything else is like noise. Like this is all noise. It's just stuff that Microsoft keeps open, and once it communicates with RPC, it'll just do some stuff down here as well. None of these other ports are worth anything. And that was it. So I was like, that's how I'm getting my methodology. And then not only that, my second way to come in at it was like, all right, I'm running this command right here. And this command takes a while to come back. If you watch any IPSEC videos, you know what I'm talking about. That command takes a while. So I'm like, all right, how do I enumerate a domain controller without IMAP? Let me see if I got my commands in here still. I don't have them. But while my command was coming back, my Nmap results was coming back, I was like, boom, MNES lookup. Boom, zone transfer. Boom, RPC map. Boom, LDAP Nmap scan. And then I also did like that's SMB, what does they call it? What they call it? Enu for Linux and stuff like that. And boom, Go Buster. And then I also did a curl on 5985 to see if that was open. So I had by those, how many did I name there? 6, 7 commands. I already had my Nmap output that I needed with those 7 commands. So I'm not even waiting around. More of the story is, if you have a way, if you have a methodology of getting after it while you're waiting on your Nmap command, it's like that you could save that time during the OSCP. Because if I had a chance, man, I would try to do an OSCP speed run. I would try to go back and try to do it in the least amount of time possible and try to get a record for that. Because I'm all about speed now. I'm glad you brought that up. But I didn't get far with this box because I didn't see any way in. But yeah, that's pretty dope that Hack the Box has something like that for people. And it's like once you pass OSCP, it's like, and you know you're waiting on OSEP or whatever you're looking for, it's like, why not get as fast as possible with your methodology? So that's been my whole goal now. Whew, there's a lot to say. I'm really interested in deserialization though, because it's like this one looks pretty straightforward because you just nah. And if this one is, I'm gonna probably do this one. Following payload can be used to verify as possible to invoke methods through deserialization. What does that say? Resulting in blah blah blah. We do get a request back, which proves how. Okay, how? How does that prove? Following payload can be used to verify if it's possible to invoke methods. Oh. Okay. Payload creates an object type resulting in HTB. Let's look at this PLC real quick. Tiny project for generating payloads for the Snake YAML deserialization gadget. So how many? My question is now, you're doing a curver. Is that what am I trying to say? Is that Windows by any chance? Because I just been on like a Windows rampage, like a Windows massacre. Because like just being a YouTuber, all the questions that I get is like, hey, how do you do Active Directory on OSCP? I'm so worried about Active Directory. I'm like, well, shit. Damn, my bad. I didn't mean to curse, but I was like, well, basically, you know, that's all I do at work. So I'm good with it. And that's how I'm going to provide my value. So I just only do, until I start getting Linux requests, I'm just sticking with Windows. I do want to do, if anybody's interested, I don't know if anybody's interested, there's ways for Linux privilege escalation where you can kind of get ahead, man. One of the things I've seen, especially on Hack the Box, is when you get into a machine and you see that it's resetting itself, that's like 95%. It's 95% chance that you have to find a configuration file and modify it. So that's like, as soon as I get into the Linux box, that's the first thing I'm looking for. Like before I do sudo tech L or anything like that, I want to see if that box is resetting. Now, don't get me wrong, that's a dirty way because now you are, how you put it, you're taking advantage of the machine creator in a way, because it's like, the machine creator has to make the box reset every so often so that when you modify the configuration file, it can just go back to normal so you don't break the machine. That's why it's really happening. But having done so many machines, I'm like, okay, well, this machine is resetting. So yes, I have to modify a configuration file to get a callback. I wish I can show, what is that box? I wish I can show you guys. There's a machine on Hack the Box that I really want to show you, but I think it's still active. Firefox blocked over 1,000 trackers. I think it's still active. It's called Trick. And it was one of those. It was a fun box, but I'm not trying to get banned, because I'm a big fanboy. I think it's still active. Trick. Yeah, it's still active. I'm not really in the easy boxes, but I did this one. I don't know why I did it actually. Maybe somebody recommended to me, but I'm not gonna go over any specifics until it comes out. But I will tell you that toward the end there is a chance for you to still trying to do Trick. Yeah, man, just get at me, man. I can give you some nudges for Trick, but there is at the end there is a opportunity for you to modify a configuration file. I'm not gonna go any further than that, just so that it can keep the box and keep its integrity. And I will say that typically, and I don't know who taught the community to do this, typically when we get command execution on anything, we like to put a netcat payload there. And I don't know why we always do this. Why do we always make it harder on ourselves? Typically, like, if we're getting initial access, the only thing we have is netcat. But if we're trying to get command execution for privilege escalation, netcat is the last thing I want to do. Why would I want to do that? So instead of getting a netcat reverse shell back to yourself, which is probably not going to be a good shell, put a payload that will put your public key inside of the authorized keys of that box. That way you can SSH in and you can have a beautiful shell that doesn't drop every 2 seconds. I don't understand why people don't do that. Or like if it's Windows and you get command execution, let's just say there's a service, and that service, you can modify the binary path of that service. Don't put a netcat payload in there unless that's the only thing you can do. There's better options there. You can change the password of the administrator and log in as the administrator with WMIExec and have a phenomenal shell. It amazes me the number of people that don't take advantage of that. I just wanted to say that about the Trick box. I'll probably do a whole video on when to use netcat, when not to use netcat, because it's a pain to have like a shell that just not. I want to have a good shell. I want to be up in there like, boom, I'm here. You know, I'm going up and down. Like, I want to have a comfortable, perfect shell, you know, the first time. So that's that. I'm supposed to be talking about deserialization, man. But yes, Linux, I love Linux, but I don't love pen testing Linux. I don't have a passion for that at all. I'm gonna be real with you. My passion is because everything is Windows at work. I'm like Windows all the way. Let's go back to what I was looking at though. The payload. So, all right, let's go through that again, because I want to understand. So what I want to understand is, because if you Google, let's Google this for a minute. And I'm starting to like, we need our own search engine, ethical hacker search engine, where it's like, I don't want to get like all these. First of all, we need somebody to go through and verify all of these articles that are pointless, that are worthless, that teach that don't teach us properly, or have errors in them. You know, we need a search engine like that, a good search engine, because a lot of times you'll Google something and then you'll come across an article and the article is totally wrong or incorrect or misleading. Maybe I'll do that one day. I'm surprised offensive security hasn't come up with that. But you go to something like that. And so, yeah, I understand deserialization as it is. And this is going to be the last video on this, because it's like, my problem with it, let's go to payload all the things. Payload all the things is always helpful. My problem with deserialization, is it in here? Yeah. Is I need for me to become comfortable with deserialization, I need every flavor of deserialization in my notes. So I need Java, JSON, YAML, JWT. I don't even know if those are the same or different, but I need them in my notes to where they are divided by the flavor of deserialization. I need the steps taken to get that, and I need the common cookie names, that's the correct, or common parameter names there. That way I can build a tool to sweep an entire website for any deserialization vulnerabilities. Here you have Java, PHP, Ruby. See, this isn't what I would want. This is crazy. But yeah, I want to build a deserialization tool because there's a lot of manual work that can be automated here. Okay, this is more of what I would like. Code review, read object. That's how it works. Okay, so I'm probably gonna have to do this another time, but I owe the community out there a deserialization tool because deserialization is all the hype, especially after Log4j, as we see there. It's all the hype, and everybody's trying to do it. But yeah, I hope you learn something from this. I hope you learn that always come up with a more efficient way to get the knowledge in your head, because that's all that matters. It doesn't matter how you do it. It matters that you do it. Let's go. I want to end this though by going back to my RPCexec tool, which I think is pretty dope, by the way. I want to go to my other tool again, Commander. What was it? Param hash. And then just do whatever. And then you see that big monster of a command here, right? So if you're new to the channel, this goes through, let's test it out on, I want to test it out on one of the deserialization boxes actually. Ooh, and see if it works. This would be like the beginning of my deserialization tool. So let's see. Runtime exec. What? Okay, let me show you what I'm reading. I want to be rude. YAML parsers are vulnerable to insecure deserialization as well. They're used by wide. Let's try a simple YAML syntax such as the following. Popular following something. Submitting the form returns the following response due to security reasons. Vulnerabilities. Perhaps this is why web was moved from this to YAML, and we know it's Java. What? How does that make any sense? There are three Java-based libraries for parsing YAML, and then there's the three libraries. Following payload can be used to verify if it's possible. Okay, so I need this in payload above. Where do you put the payload? I don't see that. Where do you put this payload? The following payload can be used to verify if it's possible. A payload above creates an object of type URL with argument resulting in an HTTP request. What? I don't know if anybody else is reading it, but I don't know where I put the payload. It's just here. Let me see, maybe I put it in burp or something, but I'm like, okay, well, payload can be generated. Code above downloads a shell from our We then compile and run the payload as follows. So you put the payload in here, I'm guessing. But I don't understand how that's deserialization. I guess deserialization here meaning that it's just injecting what you'd want into that object. But you don't ever see the object, so this is pointless to us. You don't ever see the object, so Fuji is not gonna, I think that's how you pronounce that. That's not gonna work with our tool. I want something that contains an object that you can see. Let's try developer. If not, we'll just come back to this tomorrow, but I think this is worth it. So I know we made like a lot of headway. If you haven't watched the RPCexec video, like obviously it's long, but go back and check out the highlights because I don't know of any shells that use only RPC, and we did it. So if you want to hide and you don't want to get caught, that's what you might want to check that one out. Our write-up has the following contents. Since we got a callback, what is it saying? What is it saying? We can see a vulnerability where target. Oh, yeah. Maybe this is too ambitious here. Yeah, maybe what I want to do is not worth the squeeze. What was the box that we were working on with was it JSON? I think it was. All right, let me show, if you like are new to the chat, let me show you how. I don't know if it was JSON. There you go, in here. We look around. CD HTB, and I think there's a way to ls later. I think that's the way to organize it by date. Yeah, fingerprint. Was it fingerprint? Couldn't be. What is that? I don't know what this is. Oh, maybe this is something I was trying. Let's see what we got on the script scan. Okay, so this was the one. So if we opened, first of all, let's look at what I was supposed to do versus what I was doing. Oh. All right, so what I was doing, I don't know if you guys remember, it was not fingerprint. This was something I was doing on my own. Which one was it? I'm gonna go back to my YouTube channel because my brain is tripping on me right now. It was Celestial was the one. What? No, it wasn't. Alright, it says Node.js, just a 404. There's no way. It was not Celestial. I'm gonna look at this video really quick. I don't normally do this on live stream, but it's trying to tell me something that. What? Did I just get the name wrong? So I named it Celestial, but I actually did fingerprint. Alright, man. So the video, oh man. I don't know what I was thinking there. Man, I'm losing my mind, bro. I did fingerprint. Will I be doing a machine with RPCexec to test it out? Man, we can do that right now. Cause I'm gonna see if it works. So I'm gonna try RPCexec on, what was that box that I wanted to try it on? I was gonna do a whole video on it, but I'm like, we'll have a lot of time left if we did that. So I'm gonna try it on APT. Yeah, I'm gonna try it on APT because I like that box. Spawn machine. Yeah, again, if you're just joining, I think at some point right now it's homebrewed. Our RPCexec is mad homebrewed. At some point though, and again, like I was saying yesterday, I don't want this to be everybody's. I want people to handle this in an ethical way. So I don't want this to be like Impacket. Like with Impacket, it's like now that it's on GitHub, like people can just download it and people can just use Impacket. But this, I want this to be handled carefully so that people don't do the wrong thing with it. 10.10.10.2.13. I don't have my HTB running, sudo HTB. It should pop up soon. RPC, man. Until 2 days ago, I was like, RPC is a non-factor. Like, I'm not thinking about RPC. Like, I don't care if RPC is open. Now I absolutely 100% care. What's going on? It's 10.10.10.2.13. Do I have another box open? No. It says lab access, so maybe hit away there. Sometimes it'll have another tunnel running, and they changed my IP address again. Beautiful. There we go. So I'm gonna just do a quick nmap. 27, I think. Or do I have the files already in here? Might have the files already in there. CD, HTB. Yep, CD, APT. Oh, I don't have nothing in there. Whatever. I wanted to show everyone that what? Is that? Oh, it's 213, bro. I'm tripping. 213. It should come back relatively quick. Okay, so only 80 and 135 RPC is open. So this is the perfect box to test it out on. So there's no SMB open. No SMB. So somebody can't, and I'm just gonna do a -b- so that we know for sure that this is like this is revolutionary. The SMB, I think you have to be inside of the network to get to SMB, and we're definitely on the outside. So if it works here, it's legit, bro. So what I'm gonna do, because I've already done the box, is I'm gonna get my credentials for APT. So we can just deselect all of that. What? What's up with that? and scroll to the end. And then the credentials. What? No, that's just not what I want. Okay, so I'm gonna have to do some stuff first. Wasn't there a user on here called Henry or something? Henry Vincent. And then they gave me Henry Vincent's. Oh, here it is. So this is Henry Vincent's credentials. But as you will see, that's not coming back. But just take my word for it. 80 and 135 are open on there. There's no other ports that will help us out. Oh, don't tell me my Kali froze up. Damn it. Oh my God, that's embarrassing. They gotta fix this, bro. Yeah, that's embarrassing. We're gonna wait. I don't know what's up with my Kali, man. But this is exciting. I was gonna end the live stream, but I'm like, bro, let's try this. I don't know. All right, so I gotta do some stuff first. I gotta go in here. Gotta mount. I don't know if it's SDA or SDB today. Okay, it's SDB today. Second thing I need to do is go to my servers. I'll do HTB and password. And then HTB should, APT should still be up. Yep. All right, we're back. So those credentials here should work with our tool. Let's just put it into the memory so we have that. We also have to put APT into the what am I trying to say here? We have to put APH into the Etsy host. So for my OSCP it didn't, but I did have some difficulties. So when I first started for my second OSCP, I had my laptop here, and then I had my is that how I had it? No, I had a monitor here. I had one monitor here, and then I had another monitor here, and I had the team server, whatever they use to watch you here, and then I had a laptop actually because I had to use the camera. Every time I plugged up my monitor, it killed the connection. Now I don't know what that was about, but I restarted and everything, and they were like, well, nothing's wrong on our end. Of course they're gonna say that. But it was like, I'm like, I use two monitors all the time, and the minute you put this janky ass the minute you put this janky ass software on my computer, my monitor won't work anymore, or it's killing your software every time I plug my monitor up. But I ended up having to do the whole thing with one monitor. Everything else went fairly smoothly. I didn't have any issues, at least I don't remember. I had a buddy though that what happened with his? I think he kept crashing the server, so he restarted about 5 times or something. I don't know what the hell he was doing. He took the old version before all the Active Directory craziness. What was the IP? But yeah, my Kali didn't freeze up, but my Kali's been freezing up lately. What I really need to do is just start from scratch, not even use Kali, get an Ubuntu machine, and then put all of the tools on that. That way I can manage my own packages, my own resources, Like the stuff that I don't use in Kali won't be on there. Like all this information gathering stuff, like none of that will be in there. Just only the tools that I use. And it'll be a lot, I don't know, it'll be a lot cleaner. Haven't gotten around to that, but that's a goal of mine. So keep pinging that. So again, RPC and web are open, and then we have Henry Benson's credentials here. So let's go into Home Lab. Hold on. First, did we do the Etsy hosting? We did not. So my brain is going like a million miles a second. 127 apt bash. Did that work? I don't know how that worked. I didn't call sudo. Did it work? I don't know why Kali sometimes just decides what it wants to do. So we ping apt, that should work. And then now is the moment of truth. So we can go into Home Lab. I'm kind of nervous because like if this doesn't work, I'll be like, oh no, man, what's going on? So Vim, RPCexec.py, and then where are the credentials? I have to hard code the credentials. What was it, Henry Benson? Let's look in the notes. Now, obviously, this wouldn't count as an unintended route just because I already have credentials. So there's that. But this just shows you more of how you could get, what's the word that I'm looking for? We didn't have to put in a password when we were running it. How do we do that? How do we do the thing without having to put in a password? I don't remember that. Because I know... I'm trying to remember. Because we didn't hard code the password. Or did we? Hold on. Let me just try it. Oh, it was like who I be. Access denied. Let me just make sure that everything is running the same on my end. So it's just virtual box. Windows server. Because there's a way that we hard coded the credentials, I think. So we got the username in there. How do we get the password to just so that we wouldn't have to put it in every time? We didn't use a hash, did we? I don't remember doing that. Come on, Windows server. Let's go back to our Kali while this loads. And then look around. Did I put it in RPCexec.lib? Let's look. I think I did actually. No. I hard coded it in RPCexec.lib. By the way, that's like mad bad practice. None of this is good practice. It's just right now is a proof of concept. Oh yeah, there it is. So all I have to do is, and now that I think about it, Henry may get access denied as well because he might get access denied anyway because he's not administrator. If so, we'll have to crack the administrator or figure out a way to use the hash, which I think I could do that. And if we can, like, we should get a good result. So I think that's the password. Let me just look at it. Yep. So we just go out of that. I'm a little bit nervous, man. I'm I'm mad nervous right now. So I'm like, bro, if this shit work, man. Should have been tested. That's RPCexec.py. Oh, what? Still saying access denied. Let's see if I can't get when evil when I am to work because what am I looking for? Of the fact that we only have RPC open. Henry Benson. Oh, this is the wrong. This is wrong. Henry Benson -ADM is the correct username. Who I be? Oh, bro. Yo, how? All right, so we're gonna have to. Yeah, Henry Benson is not gonna work because his privileges. His privileges. He doesn't have enough to interact with RPC or WMI. So what we could do is use the administrator hash. So I'm gonna go find that. This return, we finally use the login. Now this is gonna be a little bit more of a challenge because I have to find. I don't know why that's red. If options hashes is not none. Which one is this? Because I don't know if this counts as NT or LM. Let me see. All right, let me do something really quick. This is worth it though, because this is. So this is the hash that we want. And then, so I'm thinking that this is the NT version and this is the LM version. So if that's the case, we can, I hope that's the case. Hope I ain't like messing that up. We can take this whole thing, copy it. If you have admin, haven't you already done the enumeration, you need to be admin. So yes, so RPCexec.py would be used for post-exploitation. So just for everyone's like awareness, so we can get up to speed. So after you own your box, or after you are a penetration tester and you get in and then you do everything to kind of like get your foothold, you're going to want to get back in, but you're going to want to get back in as silently as possible. So that's where RPCexec comes in. Like if you try to get back in with PSExec or anything else, you're going to get caught because they got hashes against that thing and everything like that. But RPCexec, I assume that it will work because I don't know of any protections against WMI. I hope that answered your question. But yeah, long story short, this would be the post-exploitation phase. We already kind of own the place. Now we need to probably get back in to see if they have any new sensitive information, or maybe we want to get more of a foothold or something like that. Just being super silent. So we need to go back to that RPCexec.lib. And then if options has, If options dot hashes is not none, you know what? I'm overthinking this. RPCexec. I think it's help. No, not RPCexec. Oh, okay. I can't remember the syntax. So we need to use dash hashes. Does it require DA or just local admin? It requires I'm thinking RPC, so I'm just learning as well. At first I thought you could just RPC in as any user, but it looks like you have to have elevated credentials. You have to have some privileges, because it looks like Henry Vincent was denied access. So I'm thinking you have to be administrator. Because I know, like, on the box that I was testing it on, I was administrator. As a matter of fact, let's test that before we even, so we can confirm that. Let's just make a user, net user, newbie, and then we'll give them password 34 bang. Oh, and then just to make sure everybody knows what's going on, we'll check his permissions, and you'll see that he has like nothing going on for himself, right? He's just a regular dude. So let's see if he can log in as RPC exec. So first we need to change this back. What did I do? Password 1234 bang. Double check that just to make sure that we did it correctly. All right, just make sure that that's the correct password. We'll go back into here and go into what, RPCexec.py, and then just vim. And then change this to, I gotta check my IP too, because it changes on me sometimes. So it's still 122. I gotta make that static. That's probably something I need to write down. 122. Let's say 122. Exec.py. Yeah, so regular users can't RPC into anything. So that's actually good for post-exploitation, because if you were thread hunting and you saw administrator doing some RPC stuff, you think that's normal, right? I don't know. Maybe you would, maybe you wouldn't, but if you see a user doing some RPC stuff, then you're like, bro, that's mad suspect. Like, ain't no way. You know, it's supposed to, you know, all that stuff's supposed to be handed off to an elevated user like system or admin. So maybe that's good in a way, but we're going to try to see if we can get, what is this? We were supposed to, let's open up another one. Name my query. It's just hashes, right? That's what I saw. Hashes. All right, so you just do hashes here. I think I got an example in here somewhere. Yeah. And then you just do administrator hashes. Does it need other? Those just. That's a good question as well. I think. First of all, I want to know. $127 was the IP. I want to know 213 if they're even open. First of all, on the box, I saw that once the RPC connection is made, it communicates with random high ports. My question is, were they actually the RPC ports, or were they actual random high? So I don't know the answer to that question. But I would like to see first if they're even open on it. They should be, because you got RPC on the outside. So I am expecting them to be open. I lost my hash again. Where's my hash? Secrets.py. Is it still on my clipboard? Yes, it is. I think I could just do administrator, right? I don't know. We have to see. No, we have to do administrator at APT. Administrator at APT. All right, here we go. So we did it, but I'm curious now. Why would we be Henry Benson? Yeah, we did it. Why would we be Henry Benson and not administrator when I logged in as administrator? I mean, I don't care either way. Like, as long as he can do all the things. I'm just curious, though. But yeah, that answers your question. I do want to answer that other question. So it looks like, we don't need the other RPC ports. So yeah, like, to everyone that just, did my Cali freeze up again, bro? Yo, that's whack. Oh no, it's what? Yeah, it's mad whack. Cali froze up again. Yeah, we gotta do something about this. What is it? There's gotta be like some way to wake it back up. Let's try suspend. But yeah, if you just joined, we made our tool RPCexec.py work with one of the Hack the Box machines, which is one of the insane ones. Okay. Yep, restart. So we made our tool RPCexec.py work with one of the insane machines. And so that kind of proves that it's worth it. And if I could say something else about this machine is inaccessible from the outside. So if you haven't done APT yet, you start off with just RPC and I think web, if I'm not mistaken. And from there, you have to get an IPv6 address. And that's what you're working with from there on out. You're working with that IPv6. So, I think you capture a hash with a responder and everything like that because NTLM v1 is running. and you crack that on crack.sh, and eventually you get in. So it's not even intended, the original box. With the original box, you're intended to, and let me just make sure that I'm not misleading you on what I'm telling you. S&B, create, use Kairoot, foothold. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. I thought you needed like chisel or something, but you don't. But yeah, it's an IPv6 box, meaning that you get the IPv6 address and then you have to do everything else here from there on out with IPv6. But we just got into the box with IPv4. Look at that. So let me just do it again for the new people that just showed up. So do that HTB. We definitely just got in with IPv4. RP. I think it still should be good. I've been having Cali issues. I gotta call offensive security and be like, yo, what the hell, man? Henry Vincent. So we're in there. LS. We gotta fix the tool a little bit, but yeah. So from here on out, it's like, if you got credentials and you only have RPC open from the outside, there's no excuse now. There's no excuse now. Like, I don't want to hear nothing like, oh, I still got to chisel in and I got to like get a foothold on this server and then pivot. Like, nah, if you got credentials that are high enough on the totem pole, you can get in with RPC. So there's that. That's all the time I got for today. This live stream was a little bit off the cuff. I started with like how to study, how I study, and then I started getting into affirmations and binaurals and stuff, and then I pivoted to like AWS. So we went over a whole bunch. So if you just joined in, if you get some spare time, like go through. I'm gonna try to provide some what do you call them? Timestamps. So that, you know, it's I'm a good steward of your time. But we went over some interesting stuff. A lot of times I even like to go back and look at some of the stuff I talked about, because it's like, you know, a year from now I'm like, man, I forgot I could do that. So like I just try to feed off of the audience. Anybody got anything, like any questions, anything they want to go over before I get out, like any career stuff? I'm gonna tell you right now, and I'm gonna repeat it. I am not the guy that should be telling you about your career. I'm just simply not qualified. I can give you my take, but bro, sometimes I'm an idiot about stuff. Sometimes I'm like, I'm gonna just be real. Like, a lot of people won't tell you this, but for me, I'm a hard charger. And I don't say that to brag. I say that because sometimes it's a disadvantage. I don't consider what other people have going on in their lives, or if somebody, like, you know, maybe, you know, money's not good, or maybe they got like family issues. I'm like, hey man, just get after it. Just go after it. Go hard. That's why when I put out the video about like insane boxes, that's the type of thinker I am, to where it's like, hey man, I don't care about your instant gratification. Go hard at it the best way you can. And that's why I think sometimes my advice is terrible, but I will answer your questions. It's just get with a, if you really want to do something with your career to where you want to move up and stuff like that, get with someone that's certified and professionally trained in career guidance. I can tell you about technical stuff all day long, but actually how to act at work, or, you know, stuff like that, what you should say in an interview, I can tell you so I manage people at work. I got one guy that's a rock star, and a couple guys that like, they're just there. And I say that to say that I know what I would hire for. I know what I would look for. So you got technical skills and you got skills, intangibles, right? I look at them intangibles, like if you're gonna go after and get it. So I don't think anybody got any questions. So just somebody just dropped off. So I'm out. There's a new video coming out. What's the day? Thursday. So look out for that. I'm gonna be back live streaming tomorrow if you missed it. If you got any questions then, so just hit me up. But I'm gonna go enjoy the rest of my day. Enjoy the rest of your day. Peace, love, and hair grease.